You and me. It's 2004. We just fired up the GameCube. We got the Mike Vick Madden fired up. We go right into the create a player menu. We make a quarterback, because why wouldn't we? We make him a black guy, because of course. And we make him 6'4", 245 with freaky speed, unbelievable arm strength, and apparently he's made of glass as well. That's Anthony Richardson.
We forgot to change the injury sliders, and actually we made him 99
did forget to change
overall.
The injury sliders. Yes.
Yeah, we made him 99
we
overall
made the
throwing power.
We sure did.
But forgot to change the accuracy settings up to the right thing. So he just throws it 80 yards, but it's like not really on target every time.
Yes. But he does throw it 80 yards. He does throw it 80 yards.
Hell of a ball player.
So, yeah, I mean, Anthony Richardson he literally has the speed of Lamar Jackson. He's got the height of Tom Brady, and he's got the arm of Josh Allen. He is the prototypical Madden-created quarterback, but he's got the injury sliders of Sam Bradford, and it sucks because I think that's going to be an issue moving forward. With Anthony Richardson, I think you have to break it down in 3 categories. You have to break it down to the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's pour a little cold water on it, and let's talk about the ugly first. The accuracy. It's really bad. It was really bad in college. It was really bad in the 4 games he played as a pro. He completed just 59% of his throws. That's just not good. 21% of those throws were deemed by Pro Football Reference as bad throws. Just bad throws, which those are considered not catchable with normal effort. So any of those throws could, I guess, potentially be caught if, Pittman turns into Superman and wants to jump across the field. But for the most part, they're uncatchable balls. That, I think, is fixable. We didn't get a chance to see it because he only played 4 games. And I'll get into that in a second. But I don't think it's a death sentence for him. And I'll explain why in a second. The bad with him, I think, is the injuries. Again, you had 4-game sample size before he went out with an AC joint injury that sidelined him for the rest of the year. Week 1, he missed some time in the 4th quarter in a very close game with a knee injury. He kind of walked it off. Wasn't a big deal. I think they were more protecting their asset at that point. Week 2, he left the game with a concussion. He had a really great performance going into that game or going into the second half of that game, I should say. And then he went out with a concussion. I believe he was playing the Texans. Another, kind of a similar hoping team, division rival, both rookie quarterbacks, both, who's going to be the best one. I think we know the answer to that now, but this guy might not be far behind, honestly. And then, and as I stated, week 3, he was totally fine. And then week 4 is when he missed the rest of the season. So it's hard to say if those were going to continue throughout the year or if that was just a weird transition, right? Like a knee thing that didn't really amount to anything, a concussion, those are going to happen. But then you get the season-ending injury, week 4. It's like, all right, what is this guy crazy injury prone, or was this just like a couple of weeks of bad luck? And that remains to be seen. We're going to see that this year. He's either going to play all 17 games or he's going to play like 12 of them, and we can kind of chalk it up as he's a little bit injury prone. But for now, I think that's bad. I think when you get injured in 3 or 4 games, that's not a good look. But the good about Anthony Richardson is that he's able to, what at least I saw was that throughout these games, he was making iffy throws initially, as we touched on with the ugly, the accuracy, was making really iffy throws. But towards the second half of most games, he was starting to read the defenses a lot better, which shows that the game is catching up to, he's catching up to the game, and the game is catching up to him. It's slowing down for him in the second half, which I think when you add a whole season onto that and you add however many more games, 12 more games or whatever, you're going to see, especially towards that latter half, the game really slowed down for him. And I think that's when he can become a huge problem, because where he has this Lamar Jackson speed, he is prone to actually staying in the pocket and trying to make something happen downfield. His initial reaction is not, let me bounce up out of here and kick off a 65-yard run to the left or the right. He will stay in there while that pocket collapses and make some absolutely ridiculous throws while getting hit. Because, again, he's 6'4", 245. He can handle these hits. The accuracy that needs to be better. And I think with a coach like Shane Steichen, that can definitely happen. But we have to get a year of it. We have to see a 17-game sample size before I can really determine what this guy is. Because his ceiling is, like, greatest of all time. He's one of the best athletes we've ever seen. But if he can't figure out his accuracy, much like Josh Allen had, issues the first year that he was playing, that's the step he needs to make to really become a problem in the NFL as a whole. And that's kind of just where I'm at with it. And he also has Jim Bob Cooter as an OC, and Jim Bob Cooter sucks. Sorry, Colts fans.